I can do a quick demo. Um, I spent the last couple days actually working on QDIP. Um,
Thank you.
yep. And let's see how I want to. I guess I'll just share my screen. But yeah, it's nothing that I'm going to say is like earth shattering. But I just converted QDIP to have TypeScript and type chain support. Um, and then I also implemented fixtures. And so the main thing that I like did that for was just because fixtures are a more reproducible and faster like method of like testing because it like takes like a snapshot of like whatever you define the blockchain state to be, so you can define like the state where your contract is deployed, and then every time you run your test you don't have to redeploy it because it saves that state. And then you can chain the fixtures together so that um, like you can snapshot after like every state. So this is like after a new election has been like populated, and then um, after one voter has voted, and like after you finish, and then you can basically load each state. And the first time that it runs, it'll like do the first transaction, but then every time you like reload it, you like save on that speed benefit. So um, and this makes it so you like your tests aren't dependent on like the execution of like another one. So like when I was playing around with this repo at first, there was like one test that I was messing around with that was actually dependent on the previous it statement. So when I like commented one out, it got like basically like the state wasn't what I thought it was. So yeah, so I just implemented that. That's what I wanted to do.
This is awesome. I'm so glad you're doing this.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit more readable too, because you can tell that like, okay, I'm loading in like the state of like this contract after it's been voted on, and you can just, I don't know, it's I think a little bit easier to understand if you're doing like something like more complex, but this is kind of like a simple implementation.
That output's nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
that
so this
testing
is what.
is sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what kind of like Hans had already like set up, but um, yeah, this was just kind of like almost like a refactor, I would say, of what already existed. And then I like using type chain, so I implemented that because like you'll get nice type hinting over your contract functions. Um, and yeah, that was pretty much all I added. And then there were some tests that had like just awaiting the function call, and then I just added to not be reverted just so I could remove the await, and then you get a little like you like get the text of like why it reverted if it does revert in the like actual like down here in the test. Um, but yeah, this wasn't really what I intended to do this week, and I just kind of like felt like playing around with it after I saw Hans's like demo, so like earlier in the week.
Awesome. Awesome. So happy to see this. Looking good, looking clean, looking well thought through. I love it. Thank you. Tasty dog food. And it,
I
and it's going to keep all the dog food tasty forever. It's like the magic of testing.
mhm.
Absolutely essential for any sort of production deployment.
Yep.
As we're dragging the our culture towards products and production future. It's like we can land on the moon and then we have to construct the lunar colony. The lunar colony needs tests on the life support systems.